Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And we are back with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. Imagine that. It has been so long, I feel like, since I made a Dungeon Hunter Champions video. And I'm super happy to be back. Today's video is sponsored by Gameloft. But today, I really want to teach you guys just the sheer power of a certain monster. Okay, so the monster that I'm talking about obviously is in the thumbnail. It is Gamma, which is the light astromancer. Okay, it's one of the monsters that you actually get during your tutorial phase. So everybody has her, but are you guys really utilizing her as best as you possibly can? That for me is the big question that I want to ask you guys. So I use my Gamma in almost every single one of my arena offenses, and I've used her in almost every single one of my arena offenses since like the start. That's why I have mine 6-starred. Even before I got my Kendrick, I was still using Gamma. Even like Kendrick doesn't really make that much of a difference with Gamma because she still is going to be basically ignoring defense for the most part. So let's just go over her skills real quick, and then I'll teach you guys a little bit about who to pair her with, and then also I will go over like some actual gameplay with her as well, so you guys can kind of see her in action. Okay, so as far as her skills are concerned, her first skill is called Astral Bolt. Now it fires a bolt of magical energy at an enemy, dealing damage from a distance each time she uses another skill. The next bolt is empowered. When empowered, the bolt ignores 100% of the target's defense. This is just her basic ability, okay? Now, the first skill that she has, which is called Falling Star, summons a falling star to strike the target area after a brief delay, damages and stuns enemies. Keep that in mind, stuns enemies, guys. Okay, now the second one here is called Cosmic Collapse. So this skill is actually so nice to have in arena offense because pulling all of the enemies together in one nice little neat box and then dropping this on them, Falling Star, so that way they're all stunned, is like such an amazing combo because this hurls a swirling galaxy in a line, dealing constant damage to enemies it touches. At the end of its path, the galaxy collapses, pulling enemies towards the center, and this deals greater damage and lowers attack speed. So it lowers their attack speed as well, but the main thing is it's just pulling everybody into that black hole basically. And then you throw the Falling Star down, and then you wombo combo it up with Stellar Beam. And this fires a massive beam of energy, damaging enemies in a huge line. If an enemy is slowed, immobilized, or stunned, this skill ignores 100% of that enemy's defense. So you first drop the Cosmic Collapse, you second drop the Falling Star, and then you follow it up with a big ol' Stellar Beam and also an Astral Bolt. Now technically you could actually do it like 1-1-1-1-1-1. I'll tell you guys here. So this, when empowered, the bolt ignores 100% of the target's defense. What I mean by that is every time she uses a skill, the next bolt is empowered. So first skill, you use the second skill, Cosmic Collapse, right? And then you basic attack, and then you Falling Star, and then you basic attack again. And while they're stunned, then you follow it up with a Stellar Beam, and then you basic attack again to just ignore crazy amounts of defense. You're going to be ripping through people's arena defenses, which is exactly what you want to be doing with Gamma. You want to be ripping through them. So she, on her own, can actually get enough stuns landed on the enemy where she has a effective Stellar Beam without the help of any of her other allies with her. We're going to talk a little bit about what other allies that you guys want to bring with her as well, though we'll wait on that a little bit later on in the video when I actually go into the arena. But first, before we get into that, I want to tell you guys a little bit about how I gear mine, which is mostly just, I'm going to be honest, it is some pretty sick gear, okay? It's some pretty sick gear, but it's not super unobtainable for you guys as well. I have mine geared with Adept Keen. Now you guys can actually gear yours multiple different ways. You could do Vampire, you could do Mortal, might even be a better option than Adept. However, I feel like personally, I like the way that Adept feels better than Mortal feels, because if you happen to not have a stun there, if you happen to not have a slow, and you use your Stellar Beam, you have that coming back up pretty quickly due to the fact that you have Adept. Also, the fact that she's really easy to skill up makes things super nice, so that way you get that extra 20% skill cooldown reduction from the skill ups. So as far as the gear, I'll run through everything with you guys real quick. I have Attack percent on her shoulder pad. You guys can see the substats there. I have crit damage on the glove. I have another attack percent bracer. And then here's the substats of the other pieces of equipment as well. Like I said, it is actually some pretty legit gear. And overall, her stats look like this. So she has extremely high attack power. Now, she is a base 3-star unit, which is why she's a little bit more obtainable, especially since you can get her actually from that tutorial stages as well. But the fact that she is a 3-star. She does have lower base stats at 6-star than, say, the water one that kind of has a similar kit, but I still say that the light one, Gamma, is a little bit better because she doesn't have to worry about elemental disadvantage. Okay, there's not a whole lot of really tanky nature arena defense units that you'll be going up against, so I can kind of understand if you go with the water one instead. However, personally, I just like the consistency of having the ability to just run the light one every single time, which is Gamma. Now, you can boost up her stats, make sure she's got a whole bunch of attack power. The attack speed is less important on her than it is on some of the other champions that you guys might have, so maybe use those faster attack speed gear on them instead, and then keep her with just the big damage dealing gears that you guys might have in your box. Now, I have about 95% crit rate with 49% crit damage. Accuracy can be focused on, but don't focus on that before the other substats as far as crit rate, crit damage, and attack. Those are the main ones that you guys want to look at. Of course, if you have a little bit more HP, that means you're going to stick around for a little bit longer and be able to do more damage in an actual fight. Now, as far as the people that I pair my Gamma with, I personally pair them with my Ballarat and my Kendrick. Ballarat, Kendrick are the two main ones that I always pair with. Sometimes if I want a little bit more damage, I'll bring my Rhoda. And if I feel like I want a little bit more sustainability, I'll instead bring my Ardenellis, which you guys can see there. Now, the reason why I bring my Ballarat, let me actually pull my champions back up, is because he has a couple different things that he can do, which is mainly from this skill right here, Devour Magic. So it opens the maw in his stomach, devouring his enemies' buffs and transforming their energy into a demonic shield. So basically what he's doing is he's taking the buffs away from his enemy and turning it into a shield on himself. You guys understand that, right? So the harder, mostly right now, the harder arena defenses to fight are the ones with like the water AA, the dark AA, the light basilisk, the ones that put up immunity, invincibility, and stuff like that. It makes it really hard for your combo to go off. So the fact that I have the ability to use Ballarat because of the Devour Magic, I'm able to remove those buffs. Now, there are other options instead of Ballarat that you guys can use, such as the Fire Naga. With his third skill title, Scourge, it has the same effect. It gets rid of all of the buffs. Now, the other one as well, it's definitely an honorable mention, is Basalt, another 3-star light unit that you guys can pair with it instead of using Ballarat. If you guys don't have a Kendrick, I recommend bringing Rhoda. Now, if you guys have a Rhoda, Gamma, and your Basalt, then you just want to bring one other unit with you. And this is mainly for people that don't have Blade Masters. If you have a Blade Master, that might be a little bit better than Gamma would be. But this may be for people that don't have Blade Masters like myself, unfortunately, that are a little bit less fortunate than some other people probably watching this video with like 4 Dark Blade Masters or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys exactly what I mean, though, by the arena offense that I fight, and that'll be the last thing that we do here. So I'm going to go into the arena. I was actually able to finish top 50 last week, which is pretty cool. Again, it was using this same style of arena offense. So I actually like to go into my revenge list and just hit people on my revenge list, mainly because they don't have the opportunity to hit me back at that point. So that's maybe how it was pretty easy for me to attack people during the rush hour, which is the last hour of arena offense, or just the arena ratings. So let me go ahead and just click start battle, and we'll get right into it. And you'll see how quickly this team can be taken down. Now, it does have the water AA. It also has a water dark magical girl, as well as some other tanky units that go along with them. So most of the time, this would actually give a lot of people problems. And we'll see, maybe it'll give me problems as well. I did hit my Stellar Beam straight into the invincibility from the water AA, but luckily I was able to remove it and stun them with my first skill as well. And so far, pretty much took quick care of them. If everything goes off perfectly as planned, where you have them stunned and you hit a Stellar Beam, then it just basically takes them out in probably like 5 to 10 seconds maximum. But you'll see here, again, same thing, Devour Magic. I was hoping, okay, so I did get Devour Magic off right before the Stellar Beam hit, and you guys saw it just melted those 2 units and just one-shotted them just like that. And that's really the idea of what you guys want to be doing as well. Again, having Kendrick doesn't really make a huge difference because he does decrease the enemy's defense, but you're doing damage that's ignoring 100% of the enemy's defense anyway. You're just really getting him for the attack power boost as well as the defense break in case you happen to miss your Stellar Beam, okay? But aside from that, guys, hopefully this gives you guys some more insight on actually some other units that you guys could be using for arena offense. Again, this makes quick work of pretty much every single defense that I've come across. The only ones that you got to be a little bit more careful about are the YOLO ones that just come in, you know, they try to do the same thing back to you. Then it's kind of a toss-up, and you may need to take control of your champions at that point. But aside from that, guys, hopefully this helped you. If you haven't already, make sure you guys go ahead and click subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Also, click the bell to turn on notifications. I'll be posting a ton more content on Dungeon Hunter Champions in the next, months here. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, stay soupy. Don't be potatoes. Peace.
I run away.